Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it. My exploits are bearing fruit, even in such a harsh environment as this. There are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Lynn.
I need to be stronger.
My exploits are bearing fruit.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Not even what we saw on the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given the situation.
You mean like how some places favor...
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Is it just me, or is anyone else peckish?
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
can become even stronger.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be. In this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
We seem to have come across something a little unusual.
I felt better. That's for sure.
So I still had room to grow.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it. We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helgarahi.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegis. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Not today!
Seal!
I can carve through armor.
Breath of life.
Feel my weary companion.
Any more of this and I'll burn out.
There you go! Don't let up! All disasters!
Head is weak point. We need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Another fist!
Another incantation ruined.
Vacuum blaze!
Take this!
Healing
Can't get out of this!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! You picked the wrong fight! Vacuum blaze!
Celestial!
Blow away! There!
Rotating pile driver.
There!
Begin! A thrilling performance.
Confiscated!
I can carve through captivity.
Blow away!
Raging cascade!
Raining splash!
Down on the ground. I can handle it dry. Far enough. I'll grind you to the
Masters made one! Come forth and heal its security!
My turn!
Water astral energy!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
By the power of water lantern!
Can't get out of this.
Vacuum
The
blaze!
power of flame!
Begin.
Begin!
Ready and rare.
Outstanding form!
Vacuum blaze!
Pile driver.
Raging
I'll
storm!
smash you.
Vacuum blaze!
Celestial air!
Blow away!
Glacial spear!
Pierce evil!
Down on the ground.
Freeze
There!
Here.
Water astral energy!
Raining splash! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Blow away!
I can handle
By
it.
the power of not my vanish without a trace!
Far enough.
Raging storm!
Down on the ground.
Blow away!
Prepare to be sealed.
There!
Down!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Purge malevolent
I'm gonna need more
Soaring ground.
I'll
smash you.
This will come in handy! My astral energy! Whoa! Fight! Fire time!
Resonate with the earth.
Vacuum
blaze!
Raging
This
cascade!
one's all mine! Now! Stay away from my friends! Vacuum blaze!
Heaven and earth!
Ignite!
They're not playing around!
Vacuum blaze! There!
I'll bring you back from death to this! In here! Get on
There!
together! Thunder field!
Raining
That'll
splash!
bring you down!
Blow away!
Alright! It's time!
Ready to go!
In here!
Denied!
Raging cascade!
I can carve through armor.
Try harder! My turn!
Coming through! Don't mind if I do!
I'm nearly done for.
A chain between heaven and earth!
This should do it!
Oh, sparkling
Vacuum
stars of
blaze!
light! Rain down and
Ignite!
Elusive deity.
Vacuum
No
blaze!
dawn shall break
let me
this
help.
night.
First aid!
Now we'll know.
Vacuum blaze!
Can't get out of this.
It's about to strike!
Blow away! Look sharp, everyone! Vacuum blaze! There!
Lightning
Now you see what I can do.
There!
Shine. No.
Can't end here!
Don't give up!
Regenerate.
Raging storm! Alright, it's production time!
I can handle it.
Ice tornado! Raging
Not done yet!
by the power of water!
Soaring ground.
Now!
Shield
That'll bring you down!
There!
Not in your dreams!
Require a head. In a bind.
Razor field! Burning power!
Glacial spear!
Here's the leader! Freeze!
Regenerate.
What would I? Raging cascade!
Blow away! It's
Turn
time!
on! Magic is
You picked the wrong
This
fight!
one is almost in the bag.
Not done yet. Just falling back.
Then it's time for you to do what you do best.
I'll smash you!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Nothing gets by me! Tornado drive! Vacuum blade!
All this can't be happening.
Watch yourself. That's incredible power.
Can't get out of this! Anything in armor is all
Not on
mine!
my watch. Dance in the wind.
I can't through armor! Some regeneration!
A champion has been earned by the
Not today!
Vacuum
blades! There!
In here.
Take to the fray!
Take care of
Tornado drive!
There! Is this it?
Glacial spear. Here's evil. Free
Feel my
Blazer.
weird companion! Cure!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation.
Ready to go!
No. Done yet! Vacuum blades!
Take it, Ray!
Oh! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests. What do you mean? You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helgarahi been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Donalum's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then. That was quite the little adventure we went on.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot. Looks like we made it here in one piece.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's tough!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this. With this, I can become even stronger.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Trapped in darkness, pierced by light.
I call it the Rindo Special.
The heavens must be smiling.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Maybe it's time I try on something new.
I'll take...
If you want me to keep healing you, I'm gonna need to rest up.
Sounds prudent.
That'll teach us for getting cocky.
Right, here goes! Vacuum blade!
Begin! Deity! I can carve through armor!
Your wings won't save you from me! Here's another...
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for you truly! This is it! Reinforcements?
Damn it!
Burn! A wailing dancing of lightning! Here, let me help! I can handle it!
Negative gate!
Can't get out of
Do it! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Radiant line coming! Here!
Begin! Flame in sight!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Free you of your power. No
I
complaints
can't kill
here!
you forever!
There!
No art of being interrupted.
Vacuum blade!
Here!
What? There!
Resonate with
Between
the earth!
heaven and earth!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
All disasters made one!
Vacuum blade! We did it!
As impressive as always.
Well, I hope that wasn't true.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've
Keep
never
calm
seen
and take them down!
I can carve through armor!
Vacuum blade! Raining slash!
Rending you up!
Sleep
Vacuum
now!
blade!
Where are you going? Get on in there with the others!
There!
Rending you apart!
Radiant here!
Vacuum blade!
I'm out of
I'm ready!
More?
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
To the fray!
Certainly not.
Everlasting darkness!
I'll be
Negative
sure.
gate!
Hold on to your heart! Here I come!
Flew away!
Throbs in pain.
Lunar correct! Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! More?
Oh, sparkling stars of light! Rain down!
Showtime!
There!
I'll smash you! Can you take it?
Meteor
Flew
storm!
away!
Vanish without a trace!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! More?
There! One more! Where are you going? Rain down and purify all!
Vacuum
Radiant
blade!
light! Here!
Next!
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Glacial Spear! Pierce
Can you
evil!
take it? Elusive deity!
We did it!
Purge malevolence! If it's in the sky, it's mine! Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind! Lunar corruption!
Vacuum blade!
Attain the power of water! Do it!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
More?
Sparkling by the power
Vacuum
of
blade!
rain damage without a
Try
trace!
harder! Not today! Vacuum
Far enough!
Explosion!
I'm ready!
Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade!
More?
Radiant
Vacuum
Blade!
blade!
Sleep now!
Now or never!
More vision!
In a bind!
Blah blah blah!
Raining slash!
In here! Don't mind if I do!
Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Raining
Thunder
slash!
Seal!
I
am not beyond fury.
Free! Vacuum blade!
Eagle ray!
More? Not today!
Purge malevolence! Magic is it! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! If it's in the sky, it's
Carve
mine!
through armor! Down on the
This
ground!
one's mine!
Behold! The Earth's pulse! Tectonic vision!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Tarfhal!
Here goes!
Heroic! Vacuum Blade!
Lightning condensed!
Vacuum Blade!
Now!
Doubling! In an instant! Impact Block!
Excited! Got you! Mega Red! This world! Celestial
Vacuum Blade! I'll blind you with it!
With this, I can become even stronger!
So I still had room to grow. The heavens must be smiling.
I'm pretty lucky.
To achieve such harmony.
Takes a singular will. We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is. The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helgarahi who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Xion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace. That astral energy was incredible.
I gave it everything I had.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell... That's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later. Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
That'll teach just for getting cocky.
We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say?
This could be useful.
So those thorns of Xion's, they're really a part of Rena's Great Spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of...